please subscribe to Super Saddler's Sip.
Right then guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm interviewing ex-Saddlers left back Scott Laird. Scott had two loan spells with Walsall, one in the 16-17 season and the other in the 18-19 season. I'd like to say a massive thank you for Scott for doing the interview. I'd also like to say a massive thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate all the support on the channel, it doesn't go unnoticed. Hope you enjoy the interview, stay safe and up the Saddlers. What was your favourite memory as a Walsall player?
My favourite Walsall memory would probably be the Boxing Day game against Port Vale away. We won 1-0. I scored the only goal. I had a lot of my family there. It was a very, it was just a really good day. Obviously, a bit of a local derby against a team that were in and around it with us, fighting for those playoff spots at that time. So that was a really good moment. To get obviously the winning goal away from home against a good side, so that's probably my favourite Walsall memory in scoring a goal particularly.
Who was the best player you played with at Walsall?
The best player I played with, I'd probably go with three in this. I know there's only one, but I would go with three for different reasons. One being the probably most skillful and probably the best was Laird. He was just incredible. How he's not played higher for longer, I don't know. He could turn a game in a flash. He could win the game for you in a blink of an eye. He was magic. In training, he was incredible. He always tried to be on his team, because if you weren't, he'd probably put it through your legs 3 or 4 times. So he was just amazing. I would also have Joe Edwards in there, because he could play absolutely everywhere. His energy, enthusiasm, athleticism, and a really good person as well. So one of my good friends, Joe, so I would have him in there just because of he can play anywhere, and he plays really well in every position as well. And then probably the one that's got the most potential now, and I think will really kick on and become a really good football player in the future, play at a high level, is George Dobson. He was excellent. He was obviously young a few years back when I first joined Walsall, but he was exceptional. On the ball, brave, always wanted the ball. If we were winning, if we were losing, if it was tough, if they were man marking him, he'd always want the ball, and he always looked for a positive pass as well, and he always kept the ball. So George Dobson as well. So those three, I know it's one, but those three for me have been very, very, very good.
Who was the best manager you worked under at Walsall?
Worked under 3 managers at Walsall, and I'd probably say the best one was John Whitney. He was brilliant. He obviously brought me into Walsall, and he was really good. We got along really well until the end a bit, which I still don't know why. I didn't sign permanently, or he didn't want to take me on, because we seemed to get along really well. We always talked every day, and I really liked him. He was actually a really good manager with really good ideas, and he helped me when I first joined Walsall, and helped me fall back in love with the game. So yeah, John Whitney was very good in my time at Walsall. What
was your favourite game at the Bescott Stadium you played in?
Favourite game? So, at the Bescott at home, my favourite game I actually didn't even play in. I was on the bench. It was against Sheffield United, so that's a bit of a weird one, but the atmosphere, and we were the only team that season to beat Sheffield United 3 times, home, away, and in the Cup, so they must have hated us, and in the FA Cup, so I think it's 4 times we beat them that season, so they must have really hated us that season. But it was just a great atmosphere to see the Bescott fall. Even though I didn't play, it was a great atmosphere. The best game I played at home, probably one of my first games against Bolton. That was a really good atmosphere. Again, they brought a big following. We won the game, and I played really well. So I think that's one of my favourites. But probably if I take out, I didn't play. Sheffield United was a very good game at home. We beat them 4-1, I think it was, the year they got promoted. So yeah, really good game that was.
Who was your footballing idol?
My footballing idol growing up, probably may not have heard of him, but I'm a Rangers fan. So Brian Laudrup, he was Danish, played for Denmark, played for Rangers, left midfielder. He was brilliant. I really looked up to him. So on the back of my shirt growing up, I always had number 11 and Laudrup. So he was my favourite and idol growing up as a player.
What has been your favourite moment in your footballing career?
Best football moment? I get asked this a lot. I've been very lucky in my career to do things and play in certain games, big games, win promotions. I scored against Manchester United, so that would be a really big one. I'd be silly not to include that. But probably the biggest one for me would be winning promotion from League One to the Championship in the League One playoffs for Preston. That was a big moment in my career that I pushed for when I left the Championship with Plymouth, or I think it was about 6-7 years previous, and to get back to there where I started was a big thing for me. So that promotion with Preston at Wembley was a big moment in my career.
Best player you have ever played against?
Best player I've played against? Guti for Real Madrid. I was at Plymouth as a youngster, first year pro, or second year pro I think I was then, and we went away to Austria on pre-season tour, and we ended up playing Real Madrid. Long story, don't need to go into it, but and Guti played in the middle centre midfield. Didn't leave the centre circle, controlled the game, socks over his knees, headband in, wristbands, all that stuff, and he just looked $1 million, and he never gave the ball away, never broke sweat, and just dictated the game. So he was that time. I just thought, wow, this guy is incredible. And he played so many games for Real Madrid and Spain and everything. So yeah, I'd go with Guti.
How did the transfer come about to sign for the Saddlers?
The transfer to Walsall came about. I was out of favour at Scunthorpe. My old coach at Preston, Glyn Snodin, knew about me. Obviously worked with him at Preston for 2 years, and he mentioned me to Walsall as Rico Henry was leaving, and obviously to come and replace Rico Henry at that time was a big thing to do, big shoes to fill, even though he's a little guy. So I came in straight away. I was on a hide into nothing because he was obviously a really good player, well thought after by all the fans at Walsall. But I think I did alright. I think the fans really took to me, which is a good thing. So that's how it came about. Obviously we had to go back to Scunthorpe in January because they were looking like they might need me. Ended up they didn't need me, so that probably killed me a little bit in terms of I missed 2 or 3 games, and didn't really get back into the side until end of February, March time. So that was a bit of a regret. So that's how the move came about. Ultimately, was Rico was leaving, and my old coach at Preston recommended me to Walsall, and they took me, and it was a really, I'm glad they did.
How are you getting on at Weston-super-Mare?
My new job now at Weston going really well. I took the decision this time last year, to come out of the game. I could have stayed in League 2, but I had a really good opportunity to go and start my next chapter in my footballing career, which is be a coach, manager, assistant, and also coach at a local school, which has been really good for me. So I haven't really come out of it because I train in the day with the school coaching, and I also train at night with Weston and then play on a Saturday. So it's going brilliantly. I've learned so much in the last 12 months, probably even more so than you would do in a normal 12 months because of what's happening with this pandemic and the virus, with everything going on behind the scenes, having to prepare, to sort out, to talk to people, to sign players, to get the ground ready and safe. So there's been a lot going on, which probably in your first year probably crammed 3 or 4 years in. So it's been a really good experience, and one that I don't regret at all. Wish I could have stayed at Walsall, and I could have been offered something there, but that just wasn't to be. That's football, but I'm really happy, and just got really fond memories of Walsall. Gutted, obviously it didn't end very well with them going down, but I think in the end it's a blessing in disguise because they can reshuffle, get out players, bring in players, and build for a future. And you've got some really exciting players now. You've got Alfie Bates, who is a really, really good player. Obviously Liam Kinsella, who's brilliant. Liam Roberts, Flash up front. So they've got the makings of a really good squad there if they can keep that together. So I had a great time there. Always check for Walsall's results after every game. One of the first ones I do, if not the first result I look for. And hopefully I'll be back up to watch a game soon. Take care, guys.
Please subscribe to Super Saddlers SIP.